Hey everyone, it's Jazz, and if you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you have been here before, welcome back. So today is going to be another video that I'm going to add to my astrology series on my channel. If you guys have not checked out my first two videos that go with this astrology series, go ahead and check it out. It was basically me talking about the general characteristics of your sun sign, and this is the zodiac sign that most people are familiar with. So I thought it would be kind of like a light-hearted type of intro into astrology, where I kind of gave some of my personal feedback on the signs as well. So check them out if you have not already. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a introduction to astrology on a deeper level, but it's still easy for beginners. So yeah, I have a bunch of handwritten notes that I'm going to be following because I need to stay in order. I worked pretty hard on this video trying to gather everything and put it in a really nice order, and I'm also sitting on this side of the screen because I'm going to be putting up pictures and video clips throughout this video. So yeah, I'm going to try not to look down too much, but if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. So let's go ahead and start with like the basics. Alright, so we are in a universe, and the universe is full of billions and billions of galaxies. There is one galaxy in the universe named the Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy has billions and billions of stars. There is one brightly shining star in the Milky Way galaxy. This bright star has its own solar system that revolves around it. This star is known as the Sun, Latin name Sol, and that is where the name solar system came from. There are 9 planets that revolve around the Sun: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Pluto is way out there, and in modern day space education, it is no longer qualified as a planet, but for tons and tons and tons and tons of years, it has been a planet. So we in astrology consider it a planet still. The moon, contrary to popular belief, is not a planet. Earth, where we reside, of course, has its own moon that revolves around us, while we and 8 other planets revolve around the sun. But not only is the Earth revolving around the sun, constantly never moving, but we also have our own axis that lies in the North and South Pole that we spin on also. So we're rotating on this axis, and we are also continuing to go around the sun 365 days a year, 24/7, since the beginning of time. We have moved in this motion. So our solar system does not only consist of these large planets, but our solar system also consists of billions of stars. And these stars can be broken down into groups, which are known as constellations. Now there are 88 known constellations in our solar system. The zodiac focuses on the 12 major ones. The 12 major star constellations are Aries, Latin name is the Ram. There's Taurus, Latin name is the Bull. Gemini, the Twins. Cancer, the Crab. Leo, the Lion. Virgo, the Virgin. Libra, the Scales. Scorpius, the Scorpion. Sagittarius, the Archer. Capricornus, the Sea Goat. Aquarius, the Water Barrier. And Pisces, the Fish. Latin name was actually fishes, but that's not proper English, so I'll just say the fish. So the Earth, the planets, the solar system, the galaxies, and the universe is doing what it's been doing. Everything is moving in motion, so on and so forth. If you were to take a snapshot of our solar system from above, you would be able to see where all the planets were at the time you were born, which can be easily transferred onto a birth or natal chart. And it's basically a 2D pie graph looking thing of this snapshot where it'll say the longitudinal and latitudinal position and coordinates of all the planets at the time that you were born. Just is important to know the time you were born, where you were born, and on what date you were born, and then anybody can get this snapshot. There are a lot of different sites that do birth charts and calculate it for you. I will link 2 down below that I like to use. So this is basically what a birth chart looks like. This is my birth chart. This natal chart graph type of system has been around since ancient times. This graph can be divided into our 12 months of the year, our 4 seasons, our solstices and equinoxes, and then the zodiac signs can further be divided into element of the sign. There are 4 elements: fire, air, water, and earth. The signs can also be divided by whether they are cardinal, mutable, or fixed signs. And furthermore, the zodiac signs can be evenly divided into feminine and masculine signs. Also, each zodiac sign or zodiac constellation has its own ruling planet. And ruling planets can get really deep as to why these constellations are ruled by these planets. The same thing with the elements and the feminine and masculine, the mutable and fixed and all that. All of those things with a lot of ancient history, but just, So for now, we're just going to skip the why and we're just going to keep going with the what. So the ruling planet of Leo is the sun. The ruling planet of Cancer is the moon. Virgo and Gemini are both ruled by Mercury. Libra and Taurus are both ruled by Venus. Aries and Scorpio are both ruled by Mars. Sagittarius and Pisces are ruled by Jupiter. Capricorn and Aquarius are ruled by Saturn. And just in case that wasn't enough, there's also houses. Now remember when I said that the earth is also rotating on its axis as well as we're rotating around the sun? So astrology takes into account 2 different vantage points, and the houses will overlap what the 12 zodiac signs do. And just like the zodiac signs, there are 12 different houses that represent different values and aspects in our life. I will insert a clip right now which does a really good job at quickly explaining what houses are.
According to the house system, the point in the heavens directly above an individual is known as the midheaven, indicated by the letters MC from the Latin medium caeli, meaning middle of the heavens. The point at the eastern horizon is called the ascendant, because it is the point which is rising or ascending from the horizon as the earth turns. From these 2 points are extrapolated the rest of the houses, numbering 1 through 12. Just as there are 12 zodiac signs, there are also 12 houses. The main difference between houses and signs is that houses move with the earth while the zodiac signs do not. As the earth rotates on its axis, it changes the position of the houses in relation to the zodiac signs underneath. The houses can be thought of as a personalized version of the zodiac, which is superimposed over the actual zodiac. The 2 systems overlap one another, creating an ever-changing kaleidoscope of endless combinations. If this were a natal chart, for example, we would take a freeze frame of the heavens at the time of birth. In our example, this individual's midheaven is Sagittarius and the ascendant is Pisces.
Speaking of your ascendant sign is commonly known and called your rising sign. So the rising sign is based on where the sun was rising over the horizon in the different part of the world, because it's never pitch black. When it's nighttime in one part of the world, the next part of the world, it is morning time. Where the sun is peeking over or rising over the horizon is going to be called your rising sign, wherever that location is. If the sun is peeking in the horizon and it's passing through the Taurus constellation, then your rising sign would be Taurus. So back to the snapshot of my birth, aka my birth chart. So this is my birth chart once again. My chart shows that at the time of my birth, the sun was rising at 23 degrees into Virgo. So that means that I am a Virgo rising sign. Your rising sign is how you act towards strangers, your first impression, sometimes your ego, and also known as your defense mechanism. So your rising sign is how you may appear to someone that doesn't know you. It may be how you dress. And so since I am a rising sign Virgo, I have a lot of the characteristics of a Virgo. At the time of my birth chart shows that the sun was 11 degrees in Sagittarius. So that is my sun sign, Sagittarius. The moon was 28 degrees into Cancer, which makes my moon sign Cancer. So your moon sign is your emotional side, how you emotionally respond to things. It is also your inner subconscious feelings. It might be like that little voice in your head that's telling you to do something or telling you not to do something. that doesn't really show itself to other people. Your moon sign is that is like your inner emotional, vulnerable self. And then you have your Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. All the planets have their own sign as well, because the planets will be in one of the constellations at the time of your birth. Each planet gives off energy. In astrology, you can call it energy, you can call it powers. I like to call it energy. The world of science calls it electromagnetic fields. Call it whatever you want to call it, but the energy and the characteristics are the things that can be learned, because those are the things that have a lot to do with ancient history and like where these characteristics came from. It gets a little deep, but just know that every planet has its own energy that it sends out, and that is where all the definitions, all the characteristics and everything come from. So Mercury is known to give off the communication energy. It is in charge of communication. So I don't know if you guys heard, like, I think a few months ago, everyone was like, Mercury's in retrograde, Mercury's in retrograde. And how like the computer systems and everything was like going out of whack. People having technology problems, people were getting into fights with people over like communication issues, because retrograde means that the planet is moving backwards, so it's no longer progressing, and so things start glitching, things start acting up. So that's where that was coming from, if any of you guys are wondering. So yeah, Mercury is the planet that sends off the communication energies. Your Venus sign shows how you love. It is the love planet. It is in charge of what you love and how you love and your love language. And it's not just love in the sense of like physical love. It could be like what brings you immense joy and love in your life. Anything that you love in life. It doesn't have to be a person, it could be things. So your Mars sign represents how you take action and how you handle anger. Mars is the aggression. Mars is the aggression planet. It rules aggression, and it's going to be how you take action in life. Your Jupiter sign represents your luck, good fortune, and your overall optimism on life. Saturn sign represents your restrictions and limitations in life, places that you're just not willing to go, things that may hold you back in life. Your Uranus sign shows your revolutionary and visionary thoughts and ideal. Your Neptune sign represents your dreams. Pluto is very mysterious, but Pluto is known to kind of represent death, afterlife, rebirth, the really deep stuff like that. And to make it even more specific, remember we have the houses. So the houses was turning as well as we were turning, and they don't always line up. So if you look at my birth chart, you will see that I have a lot of my values and aspects and everything. A lot of my planets are sitting in the 3rd house, which means that I place a lot of emphasis in my life on the 3rd house, which is also the Gemini house, because that is Gemini's natural position, is the 3rd house. So yeah, you can really dig deep into your birth chart for hours if you really want to get into it. You can really learn a lot about yourself. I hope that this was a good introduction to astrology. I hope that going forward, things will make sense now if you have this kind of basic understanding. And I hope I did a good job at explaining it. Yeah, so if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel if you are not already, and be on the lookout for the next astrology video that I add to this playlist. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!